There are only two types of Americans: those who live in New York and those who wish they could. You got this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dashita Dawson, and I'm the founding director of Cannabis NYC, launched in 2022 by our mayor, Eric Adams. Cannabis NYC is located within the New York City Department of Small Business Services and is a developing interagency hub of citywide resources and services for all New Yorkers interested in the legal industry. We're strategically and intentionally working with city leaders across many agencies, including the Mayor's Office of Equity, the New York City Sheriff's Office, the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Administration for Children's Services, and New York City Housing Authority to ensure our city's industry development is equitable, sustainable, thriving, and safe. Today, we make history again as we celebrate the opening of the first Black woman-owned legal dispensary in Brooklyn, Marijuana Dispensary. Let's go. And of course, on the last day of Black History Month and almost the first day of Women's History Month, this is ideal. Now, after the passage of the MRTA, it was Mayor Adams' vision that established Cannabis NYC to lead the on-the-ground outreach, public education, business services, application support, workforce training, policy development, and more for the city's developing industry. In less than 2 years, we are delivering on the Adams administration's vision and mission to become the #1 global hub for cannabis industry excellence and equity in education across business, science, and culture. Please join me in welcoming our first speaker, our mayor, Eric Adams. Yes.
Thank you so much. Really excited. Brownsville coming to Park Slope, and just hearing and seeing the possibilities that we have here. And Dashita, you really had the vision. It was such a great decision on bringing you on board to really look at the market. She brought the business mindset as well as understanding the most important part of this, and that's the equity. We knew for far too long that far too many people were unfairly treated by our laws around cannabis. And the fight and the vision from our state lawmakers were to make sure that we produce a manner in which we could have a vision like this, to see a shop open with not only, as you stated, the intersectionality of Black History Month, but Women History Month. And to have a shop open here on Fifth Avenue, on Fifth Avenue is, really, you like the modern day George Jefferson moving on up. And it just brings a level of excitement to what we envision and what was envisioned by the lawmakers. I remember the days of being a police officer, both our current sheriff and I, how we fought against some of the illegal arrests of young people who had small quantities of marijuana, and they were treated in an unjust and unfair manner. And so here as we stand today, to be part of this great announcement, it says a lot. It says how far we have come and how far we have to go. This dispensary open is a signature to what we want to accomplish and what we want to do throughout the city. And we're happy to be here also with Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, who's introducing legislation, as well as others in Albany, to make sure that we do not undermine what we attempted to accomplish by not being heavy-handed, but to make sure that these legal dispensaries are able to thrive and grow and produce a qualitative product that we want. This is part of our overall vision when we came into office. It was about public safety, revitalizing the economy, and making our city more livable for hardworking, working-class New Yorkers. And today, this is another way we're delivering on that vision, and building a legal, equitable cannabis industry is part of that vision. We are lighting up our economy with the nation's most equitable cannabis industry. Others attempted, and they didn't get it right. We want to make sure we're getting it right. And so we're making history by opening the first legal dispensary in Brooklyn owned by a Black woman. Matawana Dispensary is an example of how you build an equitable cannabis industry that rights the wrongs of the past. And Leanne Ma, the dispensary's owner, is a former Department of Education teacher and Brooklyn native, and she and her brothers have been just as impacted by the previous war on drugs. So this is not only professional, it's personal for her. As you know, it's important to get it right. And that was an all too common story, as I stated, for black and brown young people throughout the city. And this dispensary is righting that wrong, and we really want to thank her for her visionary approach. Even when you walk through the front door, you see the logo on the front. It just really shows that you are in a comfortable setting where you can enjoy legal cannabis. And we know as the future moves on, this is going to become the joint where everybody hangs out at. As we close out Black History Month, New York City is taking steps to fix the mistakes of the past by supporting equitable growth in the legal cannabis industry. That is what today is about, and making sure that New Yorkers who were harmed by the mistakes of the past are first in line for the economic opportunities that legal cannabis will bring to our city. Make no mistake, the cannabis industry is a budding economic opportunity for the city. We have supported the opening of 26 legal cannabis shops in the 5 boroughs, and every day we are working to create a thriving, equitable industry. We must really understand, and our focus is to acknowledge that to support the legal market, we have to address the illegal market. And you're seeing it throughout the city. Every community throughout the state, actually, is talking about the illegal market that can undermine their legal operators. Illegal operators threaten the success of legal shops and put the safety of our community at risk. And these shops are selling illegal counterfeit products. Many of them are unsafe, and they targeted our young children. Legal cannabis remains the right choice for every city and citizen that wants to purchase legal cannabis, and we want to continue the development of the industry and give the support that is needed, and that's what Dashida has really done a magnificent job as she built out that infrastructure. New Yorkers are tired and fed up of seeing the illegal shops, and we need to take action. That's why I'm looking forward to working with all our partners in Albany. Give us the local authority, allow us the opportunity to close down the illegal shops. We have created the Interagency Sheriff's Joint Compliance Task Force to conduct enforcement actions against unlicensed establishments, something that Sheriff Miranda has been amazing at doing. And since the start of this administration, we have closed 160 illegal businesses, conducted over 46,000 inspections, collected over $18 million in fines, and issued 17,000 summonses. But we can't do it alone. We need our partners, and we want to thank Governor Hochul and partners like Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar and others, and one of the leaders up in the Assembly, Crystal Stokes-Peoples, the Assemblywoman. All of us together can get the product that we're looking for by making sure we have the safety that we need. So congratulations. Good luck to you. I wish you great fortune.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Adams, for your unwavering commitment to making New York City a global leader for the developing legal cannabis industry. We know that does not include the recent proliferation of illegal storefronts marketing and selling cannabis products, among other things that are not representative of what the advocates fought for when we held the line in support of the MRTA. We know demonstrating global leadership does include protecting community safety, public health, and equity, such as ensuring legacy to legal entrepreneurs like Leanne Ma, who are pioneering the development of this market, have a chance to establish successful and thriving legitimate businesses. Grounded in equity and education, Cannabis NYC has spent the last 18 months focused on creating the sustainable framework to facilitate equity-centered entrepreneurship, economic development, and just enforcement. To put it bluntly, for too long, the criminalization of marijuana has wrought devastation among communities across all 5 boroughs, disproportionately impacting marginalized groups and perpetuating cycles of injustice. We cannot afford to backtrack on the progress, however, that we have made, but rather we must move forward, amplifying the stories and supporting the efforts of New Yorkers who have hustled to overcome injustice to pioneer this developing industry. With that in mind, next we will hear from my fellow East New York native, whoop, whoop, and owner of Marijuana Dispensary, Leanne Ma.
Hello, everyone. I would like to thank everyone that came. I would like to start by thanking Housing Works. They rolled out the red carpet to make sure this day happened, and I'm forever grateful. I'm an East New York native. My mother was one of the first people to tell me that I can accomplish anything. What she told me was, yes, we are a product of East New York, but we are not a product of our environment. She said to me that if you put in hard work, give back to your community will give back to you. And today, my community is giving back to me. I would like to thank Mayor Adams. Without him and his persistence to make sure that people from Brownsville and East New York get in positions where we can open the doors for others, that everyone can see that it's possible. I would also like to thank my siblings. Without them, without their support, I wouldn't be here right now. When they came out with the drug law, my father was assaulted and arrested. My brothers, I have 5 brothers, and 3 of them have weed charges because of stop and frisk. We were just college students with anxiety and wanted a way out. We also wanted a way to not have to take medication but use natural herbs. Marijuana has allowed me to open the doors and hire 21 youth, young black people of all races, but we also lend support to advocate for people of all colors and give them the opportunity to make a decent wage and also be able to take care of their family. This moment represents a moment of tranquility. This moment represents a moment of growth. This moment represents a moment that we all can build generational wealth. And as what Jay-Z said, keep showing up. It's never going to be easy, but you got to keep showing up. Put in the work, put in the effort, and you also have to make sure you thank the people that paved the way. And I want to thank everyone in this room that's here. I also want to thank you for your hard work and making sure that the illegal shops are not a problem for us in this area. And I'm truly humbled and thankful for this experience. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Yes, also, Mayor Adams, I have a gift for you. The bag says the People's Mayor. I know you like to go to the gym, so I figured you could take it to the gym. The Cannabis Mayor, Eric Adams. Oh, you need some, yo, Sean, he needs some, hook him up, he needs some.
This is really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Leanne, and congratulations again on your historic opening. Yes, you want another round of applause for this opening. This story embodies so much of the work that we've been doing in New York and underscores what's been missing from so many mature legal, medical, and adult use markets across the nation. The good news is Cannabis NYC remains here for you, Leanne, and all New Yorkers, and we're just lifting off. We continue to expand our global hub, most recently partnering with the SPS Division of Business Services to power new cannabis account managers at our business solution centers across all 5 boroughs. We've already had more than 300 registrants for Fast Track for Cannabis Entrepreneurs, a free 10-week digital course taught by top global and local cannabis business leaders, educators, and advocates. In partnership with the New York City Economic Development Corporation, we developed the Cannabis NYC Loan Fund and looking forward to opening applications and access this year to affordable financing for social and economic equity licensees. We're working with the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice to pilot the Cannabis Reentry Employment Assistance and Training Experience, or CREATE, where we're creating a workforce development pipeline for re-entering citizens in an industry expected to add over 60,000 new jobs within the next few years. Launched in February 2023, our ongoing Liftoff Cannabis NYC 5-borough tour is the city's first cannabis public education and outreach effort, listening and learning, reaching and teaching thousands of New Yorkers and counting. Now, the tour continues in 2024 with major stops, including our Poison Prevention Week in March, the second annual New York City Cannabis Empowerment Week in April, the 51st New York City Cannabis Parade in May, and partnership with CUNY Medgar Evers at the third annual Cannabis Education Music Festival in June. And NYCHA Family Days all summer long. You could just call me Beyonce, by the way, on this one. We're on tour. And the Beehive must be our growing partnership with our Cannabis NYC ambassadors and the 5-borough coalition. Community-centered, business-supported, and government-protected, this unprecedented, democratized coalition is the engine that fuels our office getting stuff done. As we build programs from scratch, extend the reach of established city services and resources and initiatives, and develop citywide policies that will intentionally and strategically drive an equitable, accessible, and safe industry, prioritizing communities disproportionately harmed by prohibition. Now, before we open to on-topic Q&A, I wanted to also acknowledge MWBE certified and SBS Services alum TCC Media and Housing Works Cannabis Company for your work supporting Leanne and the Marijuana team down the stretch to make today's grand opening a success. Specifically, today also marks the historic launch of Housing Works Card Community Initiative, an incubator program that helps other licensees to access capital, operational infrastructure, and support securing real estate. Cannabis NYC applauds your effort as it represents a significant change and leap forward in the private sector leadership industry for embodying the spirit of equity, access, and collaboration that we've envisioned for this New York City market. Thank you for your work, and congratulations again for making history. Another round of applause to celebrate this historic opening. We are now move on to our Q&A.
Yeah, and before we get to Q&A, I just really want to thank our Assemblywoman. Assemblywoman, why don't you say a few words on your pursuit as we try to legalize the industry?
Well, good morning. First of all, congratulations, Ms. Mata, on your accomplishment to be the first Black-owned woman business of its kind here. You really make us all so proud. You mentioned your brothers being arrested on low-level marijuana charges, and now for you to open this business and give a chance for our communities to heal is really what this is all about. So thank you again. And to be here also with our mayor, who really cares about all the people of this city like no mayor has ever cared before. All working class people, all Black women, all immigrant communities. It's just an honor to always stand with you, Mayor Adams. And yes, in Albany, I am fighting to close down all the illegal marijuana shops so that legal businesses like this worthy one can thrive. And a lot has been said about Beyonce and Jay-Z this morning. But Jay-Z also famously said, I got 99 problems. And I'm going to add, but an illegal marijuana shop is not one. So I've introduced the Smoke Out Act in Albany, and I am confident that very soon we're going to smoke them all out and pave the way for worthy businesses like this one. Thank you so much.
Open up to a few questions.
Let's go, Kevin.
Kevin Sheehan, New York Post. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
Great. I know you're not looking down on me. So the question is, you know all about the crime that comes around in the last couple of years has been coming around or centered around illegal marijuana shops, violent crime, murders, shootings, stabbings. what is the difference from a crime perspective between a legal pot shop and an illegal pot shop for the neighborhood and for crime?
And that's a great question. I think that many of the illegals, they draw illegal behavior and illegal actions. These legal shops, they bring a level of professionalism. They bring a level of what's expected from the clientele that comes inside. Their product is just an entirely different approach to this. You're not seeing that type of activity at the legal shops. And that's why we continue to say to New Yorkers, if you're going to patronize the industry, patronize the legal shops. And sometimes it's different to distinguish between the two. And that is why we need the local enforcement power in all of the local municipalities. We know which ones are illegal. The sheriff has been partnering with the other agencies, DCWP, the New York City Police Department, and looking at those illegal shops so we could close them down and know that in this city, we only have legal shops.
Mr. Mayor, you already have a law, the public nuisance abatement law, which you have used to shut down shops. It takes a little police work, a couple of trips to the court, and you can get an order to shut down an illegal shop. How come you don't use that law more before going to seek new power? And then for Assemblywoman Raj Kumar in Albany, you voted no on legalizing weed. Knowing what you know now about how the program rolls out, do you stand by that vote? Do you think it was the right vote at the time, or would you change it now?
We have been, some of the stats that I've announced of how much we've confiscated, how many citations we issued, how many fines we issued, is showing that we're using the powers that we have. But it takes far too long. We say let's localize, give us the authority. Right now, the New York City Police Department cannot go in and inspect for marijuana. That's a major blockage in our plan. If I could have each precinct be responsible to go after those illegal shops and do those inspections, we can expedite the closing down of illegal operation. Waiting 6-7 months, giving fines that those who are doing the illegal action see it as just a cost of doing business, that is not going to solve the problem that we are facing, and it's not going to prevent the destabilizing of the legal market. Right on this block, you could have 4 or 5 illegal shops that were open, and they will undermine this legal operation that is following all the rules, all the procedures. And by the time you go through the labor-intense court system, this business can lose business and actually lose operation. He was asking me about your...
Yes, I think that with the 2021 cannabis law was a sea change. And there was a lot of debates at the time. We all universally agreed in decriminalization, because people should not be suffering in prison, our young people, for low-level marijuana offenses. That's just not right. There was a lot of disagreement over enforcement issues. There was concern over addiction issues, and people wanted some provisions in there to fight addiction. But in the end, it was passed, and here we are. And now we need to deal with the present situation, and that's what I've been laser focused on in terms of shutting down these illegal shops. Thanks for your question.
What's up, Tim?
How are you?
Good.
So, the Assemblywoman's legislation goes further than what the governor put in the budget in terms of giving the cities powers to shut down illegal shops. Are you on the same page with the governor? What do you want the governor to be saying about the pushing the legislature on how far this she should go?
Yes. No.
And then separately, I wanted to ask you, there was a report in the city that, I don't remember what it was, recently saying that the state's not collecting most of the fines. I mean, cannabis shops, I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. You said the state. Yeah, well, because New York, we like collecting fines as we have to, so. I have one mission, to close down the illegal shops. And being a former state senator, I know how this operates. There's legislation that's placed in. There's proposals put in by the governor. You have to get both houses involved, both the Assembly and the Senate. What I think the Assemblywoman did is really put this conversation to the universe. What the governor's doing is putting it in the universe. And now the lawmakers are going to do their thing. They're going to all come to the table. They're going to look at the various proposals, the various legislations, and they're going to come out with a fair legislation that won't harm the industry, won't go back to criminalizing the industry, but at the same time allowing the local municipalities to do their jobs. And so this is at the beginning of the conversations, and I believe there's a deal to be made that it's a win-win, and we're looking forward to that.
So are you on the same page with the governor?
I'm on the same page with localizing enforcement. And everybody that's on that page, I'm on the page with it. The governor and I have spoken. She clearly understands why it's important that we get this right so that we don't have the overproliferation of illegal shops. So I'm on the same page. Whoever starts with giving us authority on a local level, that's the page I'm on.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, my favorite part too.
Hey, come on, get the large scissors. I'll share, I will share. Yeah, we got a ribbon. Right, get the shot. Down in front, as they always say. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right.